of Africa.
Nigeria we want.
Our fatherland.
Where's Nigeria?
The Nigeria we want. With Vicky O yeah, me show the moon. Wale your light on. Every say what shuku. The Nigeria we want. Where's Nigeria? On Vicky O Show every Saturday.
The Nigeria we want. Where's Nigeria?
Giant of Africa.
Nigeria we want. Where's Nigeria?
Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, wherever you're joining us around the world. This is the Vicky O Show, the Nigeria we want. Thank you for joining us. This is a place where we talk about everything from politics to relationship to whatever that needed to be talked about. And it's all about our country, Nigeria. Nigeria is a lovely place to be, is a country you want to belong to. Like most places, yes, it's not how we want it to be yet. And we have a dream. We have a vision of what we want our country to be like. So when we talk about the Nigeria that we want, we're talking about the role that each and every one of us are playing to make the country what we want it to be. So today I've got my panelists in the green room waiting. But before I bring the panelists onto the show, we would like to say thank you to our sponsors. We've got a couple of sponsors making this possible, making us to be able to, helping us, assisting us to be able to bring the show on to you every Saturday. And these sponsors, they've been so regular. We would like you to just join us to say thank you to them, patronize them, and let them know you've heard about them from us. So the first one is Provision GSH Plus. It's all about your health, my health. It's about improving our health. You've heard the word or the saying, your health is your wealth. You can have all the money in the world, but if you're not healthy, if you don't have full health, then that money is useless. All right. So Provision GSH Plus is all about helping you to improve your health. It's about working on your cellular level. So it's not just, putting Band-Aid on. It's about going deeper and working on the cells that are doing the work behind the scenes, carrying blood from one point to another. And this GSH Plus is to help boost, is to help fuel, these cells. So they work on cellular level. Just check them out. How is your energy? Do you struggle with having restful sleep? How is your immune system? Do you struggle with stress, concentration, and mental fatigue? GSH Plus is your answer. It's the answer that you need, because the ingredients contained in GSH Plus formula may support your immune system, optimize your strength and energy, and it can empower your daily living. Provision GSH Plus can be ordered through the link we've provided. That's GSH Plus. If you're interested, just send an email to vickyoshow@gmail.com, and we'll get you into connection with those in charge of Provision GSH Plus. The second business is Capstone Medical Center. Check them out. All right. Thank you so much to our sponsors. Welcome, 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 Wale Olaiton. Welcome, Elvis and Wachukwu. How are you all doing?
Yeah, well, good. I'm good. Nothing much has changed from the last time we were here to date. So, story is still the same.
Mm.
Maybe it's different for Wale. I'm not sure, but Wale gets the opportunity to speak for himself.
It's good. It's good to be back at least, and to our Australian viewers. You welcome to our new time because of the daylight savings. So at least it's good to be back, and I'm looking forward to another informative, educative session tonight.
All right. Thank you so much. And we're still in lockdown in Melbourne. Lockdown. And I think as at last Monday, we are now known as the most lockdown state around the world. We want something now. So we're still in
Yeah.
lockdown, and yeah, it's not easy, especially now that we're getting into summer. So having to, the sun out there, it's beautiful out there, but you're not able to go out with friends and catch up with them. And normally by this time of the year, we have one party after the other. Now we're unable to do all that, and it's quite frustrating. And despite the fact that we are keeping to the rules and regulations, the numbers keeps rising. Like today, they had like 1,900 and something. And yeah, it gets frustrating, especially when you are doing everything right. Take vaccine, we've taken vaccine. Stay home, we've been staying home. Um, but it just nothing seems to be hardened up. I'm not sure how you guys feel about that, but we're still in lockdown and we don't really have a straight answer to say, okay, by the 15th of October, yes, you guys can be free. Or by the 20th of November, you guys can be free. And then we have something to look forward to, but I haven't heard anything. Maybe you guys have, but it's for me, it is getting frustrating. I spent a few days in Bairnsdale, of course, because I had to go for the business, and I mean, seeing the people. I mean, I actually went to a restaurant, even though we couldn't stay inside, but having to be served, because that's one of the things that I enjoy, being served and having my meals, under the canopy. That was nice. Um, so yeah, that's just that is quite yeah, the lack of the fact that we are not given any hope in terms of what are we doing really. Sydney will be free by Monday. I mean,
Mm.
that's the
Which,
last time I
yeah,
heard. Mm,
because there's actually, I think, there's actually a roadmap to get us out of this situation. I think I was looking at it yesterday, and it's kind of staged. If we get to this level of if a certain percentage of people have taken the vaccine, then
mm,
they open up some facilities. You can access this or that. I don't know the actual details, but the government actually has a roadmap to getting us out. Now it's funny how when you spoke about us being locked down, I was reading somewhere on social media. Someone made a comment to say, "Look, we have come from a position where we were the most livable city in the world, and now
mm,
to the most locked up city in the world." It's funny extremes there. But
totally.
yeah, and then someone also referred to us as the capital, the capital of COVID, in the sense that we are locked down more than any other place on earth. But look, the government is trying to do the right thing. and that's my perspective. I've had people argue, oh, the government is too harsh. They are this, they are that. But from a health perspective, my position is the government is trying to keep people safe. Now it's easy to say people, we're doing the right thing. Yes, you are doing the right thing. I'm doing the right thing. What is doing, and the whole host of people are doing the right thing. But you also be amazed the number of people that still think this is a joke. And they're not, for that reason, they're not doing the right thing. I mean, I was out somewhere walking the other day and I had my mask on. This fellow had their mask on. And then the next thing was, oh, look, if you're feeling comfortable, I feel comfortable. I want to take it off. If you don't know me, you don't know whether I've got anything inside of me. And I don't know whether you've got something as well. So, yeah, so those bunch of people are the ones that are actually making it hard on the people that are doing the right thing. Yes, it's really hard times. It's difficult.
It is.
But at the end of the day, we need to open up. Our lives we just got to. Yeah, we'll have to live with that. COVID is here to stay. We just have to find, good ways to live with COVID. It's here to
balance.
stay. Yeah.
I believe so. And places like UK, they open up like 100%. There's no, and not millions of people are dying. Some people are dying. We don't want to lose anyone, but we have to do what we have to do. Life still continues. And I was thinking about this morning, and it was just like, it's like whether you believe that there's COVID or there's no COVID, or the vaccine works for it, the vaccine doesn't work for it. It's like we are so fearful of dying that, whichever area you are, there's something stopping you from wanting to be able to leave. Yes, the government has some restrictions and all that, but I was thinking, none of us is leaving this world alive. When it comes our time, we will go. We don't know when, and we pray not yet, right? But it's something we need to do something. 2 years of this, running or ruling our lives is more than enough for what we can be at or continue to be at. What do you think, Wale?
Yes, I share most of the points you've spoken about, also with Elvis around the roadmap. So COVID has come to stay. Like you referenced, the rest of the world is learning to live with it, and they open up businesses, and life is continuing as normal as possible. In the US and UK, I think that's the direction that we're taking as well. Even though we're taking across different states in Australia, different premier approach it a bit differently. I think what the target we're trying to meet up in Victoria, if I remember from the roadmap, is to have 80% of the population to receive double vaccination. And then there will be, businesses opening up, and also there will be criteria that will be set by businesses in terms of, if you, so at that point, the individuals have to make decisions. If you want to access certain business, either restaurant or go to the movie, you'll be required to provide a proof that you are fully, vaccinated, and they can make that decision to allow entrance or not to allow. So, and the most fascinating thing about it is also now, like, I remember there's a case before the Supreme Court in Victoria where a couple, they are teachers, and then they've taken Victorian government to court over the compulsory vaccination, because the government has made it very clear that teachers, they have to be be vaccinated before they can return to classes. So it's one of those decisions that government recently made, just to be sure that kids, teachers are safe in school. So we should be expecting a long legal challenges around that, like initially around public health and individual liberty. I think the court has to decide in this kind of pandemic, is individual liberty, something more important than the overall good of public health. And that would be something to really close watchly. And the most interesting part of it, the most comical side, I saw there was a protest in New York. It was organized by Americans, and they were carrying Australian flag. They want to save Australia. That was what the protest was all about. And they were shouting, "Save, save Australia! Save, save Australia!" So they really thought that we're really in this deep political lockdown, more like in communist states, that we are really locked down and we need to be rescued. I thought that was really funny.
No.
Totally.
No, well, no.
Totally funny. And a staff member came to me a few days ago and had, I need to talk to you. I don't want to take the vaccine. This is health sector. It's not my law. You're a fantastic worker, but the government said, if you stay, I will be in trouble. I heard it's $100,000 if you have unvaccinated worker on your team. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you will have to go. And this person, she's the most paid out of all the staff members. She's getting good sum. She just said, yeah, she'll go. And this is a place, a rural community, where finding jobs, majority of the people there, they're on dole. They receive Centrelink benefit, and she's happy to quit, just because she believed everything going out there, and she was just so adamant that now she's not gonna take COVID vaccine. I'm like, okay.
Well, are we not at the point where it's due to this, policies that are rearing, or it's just recently rearing its head? Are we not at the point where, even without saying so, taking the vaccine not becomes compulsory for every worker or everyone, one way or the other? And they also that concerns about whether they were going to force people to mandate people to take the vaccine. But yes, people are not being mandated directly. However, you're still being mandated relative to the industry where you work. Or I was going out on one appointment the other day, and I had this guy text me to say, "Oh, look, you need to show evidence that you're fully vaccinated when you come on site." I said, "All right, that's fine." But that would be on the premise that you also show me that you are fully vaccinated. Yes. So we're to that point where it's actually becoming unspoken words, but it's becoming the norm.
And there are different parts to this. There are some that are really angry because they see it as being forced, and that's something that most just can't deal with. How dare you force us to take this? You promised us in the initial stages that it's gonna be people choosing to take it if they want to or not. Now it's like you're forcing us. You're a teacher, you have to be forced to. You're in the medical field, you have to be forced to. You're in building. I mean, any job, almost all jobs now. Almost all. I can't even see.
That's exactly my point. Unspoken words, not on paper, but one way or the other, we're beginning to realize that it's actually compulsory for everyone to take the job. Yeah.
But when I had this chat with my doctor man, his angle is that look at it this way: who is paying for our health? the government, because if we don't have Medicare there, and someone has to go to the hospital on in ICU, on machines here and there, that's thousands of dollars. Government
But
pays for it.
yeah, but
And
is a portion of the taxes we pay? Are we saying a portion of the taxes we pay are not allocated to, the health industry as well? Why I say this is in the UK, when you work, you pay your taxes separately to HM revenue, and then you also have your NI. So a portion of your weekly or your monthly or your fortnightly pay goes towards your NI, which is your national insurance. So it may appear that you're getting healthcare for free, but you're actually paying, through your taxes from your place of work. So yeah, I want
but
to,
in UK, that means that private health is quite compulsory, right?
it's not compulsory. So the point is this: when you have, as a worker, you have your NI. Everyone is just like our tax file number here. Everyone has a NI, national insurance number. When you check your pay slip, every time you get your pay slip, you'll see a portion of your pay has actually been deducted and allocated towards your NI, your national insurance. That takes care of your health. And I want to believe the same way the huge taxes we pay here, a portion of it also goes towards the health. That's what I think.
Absolutely. When we do our tax return, we say percent Medicare levy. That goes automatically when we do our tax return, and that goes to our Medicare. But I think the point Vicky was making is around the fact that we get a very highly subsidized health system. The deduction that we get at the end of the financial year compared to people that are really sick and they have to use the hospital. If they were to use private health insurance, like it is compulsory in places like US and some other countries, no one can really afford that. It is only in this country people will call ambulance because they just feel a slight headache. They don't do that I'm sure they just don't do that in America and some few places because people cannot afford it. So I think that's just we get, like the joke is like, look, we get nothing really for free. If someone pays for it one way or the other, if you work and pay taxes, we make our own, payment as well. Time is actually we are into almost 25 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Welcome, Egbon. Oh.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You are welcome.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Yeah.
How are you, sirs and ma?
We are fine now.
Good.
Sorry, I just finished playing a game. That's why I'm a bit here late, and I'll be playing another. So let me just take my commercial break here.
Okay.
Well, what game are you playing? Are you playing draft or what is it?
No, Ayoni. We're playing tennis. Really, we're playing
tennis. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're playing tennis. It's an interclub tournament. So.
Yeah.
And I just won my first game.
Wow! Congratulations!
Yes, sir.
How many aces?
Let's count that now.
Okay.
Nigeria has enough aces to play if we put our acts right.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. We've been talking about the our lockdowns here. We're now known. Melbourne is now known as the most lockdown state all over the world. From the best city to live in to so we're still number one. So, yeah, we'll get into today's program. It's combination of all sorts of what is trending actually. So, we just want to take a little bit of a step back and go deeper into what is trending. So I'll get Wale to get started.
Oh, thank you. Oh, so as Vicky said, we're having an extended what is trending, which, we're reviewing the week in terms of the social-political issues and anything of interest. So we know we've had a lot of serious topics in recent months. So we're just to take it a bit easy. We still talk about important things, as earlier said in Vicky's introduction, but we just want to have an extended what is trending. And I will start with, we still go around the team. I'll actually start with, Dr. Vicky, among what you've got on your list of what is trending. So what is the most, the one right there on top, from your list? I've got a few here.
Tinubu is back.
Okay, you stole that from me. Right.
He is back on the ground, and he said, and I can quote him now, that if people want him to put in for the presidency, he will do it. So but the one thing that I just would like to, that I'm kind of every time that I've been seeing his pictures or videos in the last few months, he's been wearing one shoe and one shoe only. So I just want to check what is going on. I'm sorry, check him out. It's only one shoe, same shoe. Maybe he's got like 10 of maybe like Facebook guy that has the same color, same t-shirt, but like hundreds of them. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. But that was just something that caught my attention. That why is this man wearing the same thing again? Show be now only one shoe.
Like this brown sneakers with white sole.
Yeah. Like it's like a navy blue with like almost like a creamish or whitish sole. The same. I will get the picture and put it up. That for me, that's just like, okay, Nigeria, God help us.
Yeah. Okay. So also on that note, he returned the Jagaban. Ashwaju Bola Tinubu returned to Nigeria on Friday night after 3 months medical trip to United Kingdom. We can report here confidently that for the last 6 weeks or so, his London resident was like an echo to all politicians in Nigeria, from the Senate to House of Rep to governors. They've all been there, to say hello, to the godfather of Nigerian politics. Well, arguably the godfather of current politics in Nigeria. And I'm sure there's a lot to watch in that space. And also before that, another thing that is trending for me that is directly linked to Ashwaju Tinubu's return, it was the launch of a group called Swagger 2023. That is the Southwest agenda for 2023. This Swagger is a kind of mobilization group, and the whole idea is for them to canvass and support Ashwaju Bola Tinubu to become the president in 2023. They had a launch with all fanfare. We had, our Suande on the bandstand, dishing out its classical tones. And I read something that one of the speakers at that event, the program was actually organized by Governor Sanwo-Olu of Lagos. And then one of the speakers there, Senator Adebayo Adeyeye, he said something in his comments that Ashwaju already has 12 million votes, already in his bag, from Southwest states already.
12 billion. That's like
12 billion. They already be by the formation of the group and what they already done so far.
Okay.
That you already have 12 million votes, ready, for Ashwaju. So that is one of what is trending for me. So I'll go to Elvis. So what is trending for you? We've got a lot of things trending. So which one is really up there?
All right, yeah. The Nigerian military, I think it was a few days ago, launched a number of they've tagged different names, but military operations in a number of areas in Nigeria. Yeah, one they've tagged the Operation Enduring Peace in the North Central and the Federal Capital Territory. You've got Still Waters, Operation Still Waters for the South and the Southwestern region, and then you have a Operation. What's this one? One thinking. Yeah, there's one in the East. I don't know what they've tagged that one. Again, to combat banditry and kidnappings and burning of government facilities in the East. Yeah, so that's quite huge. And is already taking off in the East. So yeah, all of this towards stemming the tide of insecurity in different parts of the country. But on the other side of the divide, you also have people who are of the opinion, because Anambra is really in the news currently. You have people who have posited that this is a ploy for the federal government to rig, the what is it called, the party in power to rig the election in the gubernatorial election coming up soon in Anambra State. So yeah, that's on that side, because the argument is that you're launching, I think it's a state of emergency in Anambra State, where yes, there's in recent times the state of insecurity has really increased there, with a number of killings reported. But when you juxtapose that with what's happening in the north, over the years, those guys are also arguing, how come you've had this much insecurity where people are, the bandits are going into schools and kidnapping people in their large numbers, and yet a state of emergency has not been declared in those areas. So yeah, that's what's on top of my list on what's trending. That's if I have any list at all, Wally. But that's what's trending for me.
I'm sure you've got something either in the list or somewhere in your head. I go to Egbon now. Egbon, what is really trending for you? Apart from tennis.
Now that you've mentioned that, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now that you've mentioned that, I'll probably start from the area of sports.
Okay.
The fact that the Central African Republic, CAR, came into Nigeria and ran away with a 1-goal victory is trending. Naturally, we would have expected that Nigeria will run over that small country in that encounter. But we eventually lost that game, which leaves us with the second leg. And of course, there are no minors in football, so they say. Just that this one hit us pretty bad. And can only hope that for the second leg we'll be up and doing, and be able to do justice. That's that. At least something away from the killings and the kidnappings there. Of course, there was a story of this actor who the military caught with wearing a dress with Biafran insignia on it, and it became such a big deal. Of course, the internet was set on fire with it, but I learned that it's been released now. But it's a signal to how uncomfortable some people can be with some issues, or some organizations can be with some issues. But at least we are happy that it's been resolved without without any horrible consequence there. So that is that. Well, Elvis mentioned the threat about imposition of state of emergency. I share his views about this. There are worse situations in some parts of the country, and nobody is talking about state of emergency. It's just that the way things are going, I still wonder how this election can be held. I wonder how it can be held. And I mean, when we had peace, elections were rigged, were obviously rigged. Now that there is commotion here and there, what is to be expected is as good as your guess. So we'll see as it pans out. I just pray for peace in that region because we need it to move on. That's it for now.
Okay, thanks so much, Egbo. And talking about the shock loss to Central African Republic, I had a look about an hour ago just to check the qualifier, to look at the table. So as you said in the past, looking at this group way back, I would say when Super Eagles, I would say for example, the team that went to the USA 94 World Cup. If Nigeria was in a group with Liberia, Central African Republic, and Cape Verde Island, you would think automatically that is a gunner. We've got that, qualification in the bags. That is already with the caliber of players we had at the time, and also the caliber of, I guess, our ranking among countries. But as you said, this is 2021. There is no, you can't really compete and win a game on the basis of the name of the country alone. You see, you have to play 11 men against another 11 men from the other country. But it's not looking so bad. We've played 3 matches so far. We've won 2. We've lost 1. The one we lost against Central African Republic. And we are still on top of that group with 6 points and with 2 goal difference advantage, looking at everything. So from that, we're still in a position. Hopefully they will learn from that short loss to CAR and try and pull their house in order in the next couple of games. That's the qualification towards the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. I was hoping that would be an home World Cup for us because Australia actually bid for that World Cup before the Qatar used the oil money to steal that hosting right from us. We play by the rules, but the Qatarian, they had different views. They use all their oil money. Anyway, that's a different topic.
So sorry about that.
Yeah, I was hoping, because on my bucket list is that in my lifetime I want to watch a World Cup final live. It's one of those little things on my bucket list. And I was hoping if we are hosting in 2022, that would have been automatic. No matter where it's being played, I would love to be there to watch a senior World Cup final live. That was one of the ideas. So I've got to wait for the other place to be able to achieve that.
Wale, you're looking for the easy way out. You can also
yes, now at least. At least if they are playing this in Melbourne or Sydney, I can still go.
Watch it in the backyard, yeah?
Yes, now watch it in why now. It's the same thing. I can tell stories that have been in a World Cup final live. That is the story I want to tell. Whether
you still can by going to Qatar. That's my point.
Kabul. Who cares? Okay, Vicky.
I'm sorry, Wale. If I can quickly throw something in.
Yeah.
Let's throw something into the mix, and this has to be from it's been taken from the area of entertainment.
Okay.
There is something trending about Tiwa Savage.
Yes.
Yes, that's one about the purported sex tape which she said somebody has been blackmailing her with. That's an unfortunate development, but I can tell you that it is an issue that is really trending here. For those who do not know, there is the case of see why I said somebody is blackmailing her to pay her something, a sex tape, which was recorded between herself and her own man. How that got out, I don't know. They should be able to tell us that. But that is something that is in the air. She has promised. She has said she's not ready to part with a naira concerning that. Other than that, she would rather release. She would rather release the tape to the public herself. Well, we are watching. I know some people have bought popcorn. They are waiting to see a movie.
So, what is this thing between lovers recording themselves? For me, it's just something that I'm like, a couple of weeks ago, what's the name of this actress? And Ogbono, whatever the name of the boyfriend is, there's this actress also who had his boyfriend for only a couple of months or so, and it was hot for that 2 months, and then just like that, the guy released all these recordings about when she was threatening to go and kill herself, and it was quite heartbreaking, for somebody that you believe loved you to be recording you at a time when you were vulnerable. So what is this trend of couples recording themselves, the intimate time that they're supposed to focus on themselves? Elvis,
obviously, Vicky, there's a sinister intention there.
Exactly.
From the word
From
go.
the beginning.
Yeah, so the party who's doing the recording actually has negative intentions, and they weren't just recording for fun, if I must say. Like in this case that you mentioned now, obviously, it might even have been the case, some demands have been made behind the scene, just like we're having in Tiwa's case, and then people refusing to pay up, and then it ends up on social media. So clearly, anyone who's doing that didn't go in there with the mindset that they actually wanted the relationship. For them, perhaps it was business from the beginning, and that was what they were to grab.
If you permit me, I would say I will probably give another side of the coin to this, because in some cases you find out that it's an agreed thing with the consent of the two, and it is, call it a level of stupidity, call it gullibility, call it well, I wouldn't want to use the word insanity, because Dr. Vicky might be more competent to go along that line, to call it that. But there have been situations where, say, for instance, the female, in an overzealous attempt to please the guy, in a moment of madness where caution is thrown to the wind, agrees to such filming. And stupidly too, they believe it will be confidential. Now you are putting this on a device.
Exactly.
You are putting it on a device that can be accessed by anybody in some odd situations. I've seen a situation where such is recorded on a device. The device develops a fault along the line. It is taken for repairs. And in the process of effecting the repairs, the technician comes, sees this, and keeps the material. And before you know it, it is shared between one or two friends. And before you say Jack, it goes viral. Or it falls into the wrong hands and blackmailers step in. That decision, that momentary decision of doing one of the most stupid things human beings have ever tried, have landed a number of people into trouble. Some have become slaves to those who possess such. And in a continuous attempt to cover it up, they keep losing money.
Exactly.
At times, they are even subjected to further sexual harassment because whoever has it believes he holds an ace. And it is happening more with this internet generation. Some people do not think deeply before taking this. Even between husband and wife, how would you document some of these intimate things, and you expect that God in its infinite mercies will abandon all he has to do and be protecting this material for you? But I don't know how this happened. They are yet to tell us how this even happened between Tiwa and.
Yeah, look.
Of course, you know that in some instances, maybe the man is the perpetrator. Before the lady comes into the room, he has set up such a gadget, and it is done without the knowledge of the lady. That happens. But some may be under the influence of drugs, or under the act of losing their brains momentarily, they agree to touch. It is a sad thing. It's a sad development.
Everyone, like you said, I mean, I had a car before. My car is Tesla. There was a time I went to the shop, and as I was picking what I bought, my key dropped. When it dropped, I got to my car. I couldn't open my car. I pressed it and I pressed it. So I couldn't open. There's no way I would be able to drive home. So I called Tesla 1-800 number. Picked up by somebody in United States, in Texas, in United States. This person, from wherever she's from, logged onto my computer, my car computer, opened the door for me. Without my car key, I drove that car from the shop 20 kilometers to my house. If they can do that, guess what? Only God knows who and who somewhere around the world.
Materials.
So I'm kind of talking about this now because there are heaps of people watching us from whatever part of the world that is relying on this, thinking whatever I have there is safe, is secure. You're deceiving yourself. So we all need to be careful at the end of the day. And I do say something all the time, that don't suspend this brain. That brain is there, and God has given you, it's a gift. It is a CPU. It's not a CPU man-made. I mean, what we are using right now is man-made. God designed it himself. And he has given it to us, each and every one of us, as a gift to use, so that we don't keep disturbing him every time. Like Egbon said, you allow a man to record you naked, having sex, something that's supposed to be, I don't know. But we don't use this sometimes. We suspend it.
It's love, my sister. It's love. It's love wanting to.
We kind of be love. You know yourself. You don't even know the next person to you. A person will tell you what they want you to know. You don't really know deep down. You know yourself.
You don't.
Don't let your guard down. So if you're a young person out there watching and listening to this right now, look after yourself. Don't suspend the brain that God has given you. Use it.
Well, thank you. And I think my take on, Tiwa's case, I don't want to downplay our claims, and I don't want to in any way, support any act of blackmail. But there's one feeling in me that I've listened to outside of the story, something doesn't really add up. My opinion, the way it was said, it was a consensual recording between her and her partner, and one way or the other, that thing got leaked. To me, I was just thinking about the Kardashian. I can just think about a publicity stunt. To me, that story, the narrative she gave, unless she's got other things to say, that narrative to me doesn't make much sense. To be honest with you, and I'm saying this not downplaying her claims. I'm saying this not giving any form of credence to blackmailers, but the story she narrated by herself doesn't really make any sense. It was between her and her partner. It was consensual recording. How did it get out? So I just felt that, especially in the entertainment industry, people do a lot of things to get an hour or 2 days of publicity. Who really knows? So moving on in terms of what we're discussing, I'll move back to Elvis. Okay, before I move back to Elvis, I will say something maybe that could also, I think one of the most important things that has come out this week is the Pandora Papers. Pandora Papers is, a major leak of financial documents. It was as a sort of investigative journalism by over 600 journalists from Washington Post to BBC to The Guardian to the Premium Times in Nigeria and those of others. And that document has revealed a lot of information about how politicians, business people, created, offshore accounts in British Virgin Islands, in Panama and some other countries, all in the name of being able to have access there without making any disclosure, or as just trying to prevent, payment of taxes. And most recently, we've been told that we have a former Chief Justice of Nigeria on, linked to that document. We have current, former state governors, linked to that document, lawmakers, and more importantly, they've been able to mention about 3 names that are actually on that list. They're releasing those documents, I think, in sequential kind of order. They released former Governor Peter Obi. His name is on that list. He kept secret assets, in an investment in British Virgin Island. It was alleged that he set up a business in the name of his daughter, Gabriella Investment Limited, and there wasn't any declaration when he was in government. He was meant to make declaration about his asset and everything. There was no any form of declaration to the Code of Conduct Bureau at the time. Also, prominent on that list is current governor of Osun State, Governor Gboyega Oyetola. It was linked to a major property in United Kingdom, where most of this money was set up in these offshore secret accounts, and then from there they use some of the money to make property purchases across the globe. Also, there's Stella Udua. Stella has been in the news for all the wrong reasons in recent years. She's prominent on that Pandora Papers. Stella Udua it was alleged she bought 4 properties in London for big sum of money, £6.7 million between 2012 to 2013. That was when she was in government as aviation minister under President Jonathan, and the market value of those property in Nigerian currency today is 5.2 billion naira for those properties. So that, I think that's the major thing that has been trending in recent week, and I know there will still be more revelations to come from that Pandora just opening Pandora box. So
You know, Pastor Joshua, synagogue,
Okay.
is also on the list.
Okay. Okay.
Where are we going? So what's going to happen now? Yes, they've investigated. There are paperwork. There are stuff. They have everything there. What is going to happen? The same old story. Has there been any comment from the government about all this?
No, but I read Governor Obi made a statement to Premium Times a couple of days ago. Pretty much he said, look, when he made the declaration, it was meant to declare property or assets outrightly owned by him. That was what was meant to do by law. It wasn't meant to, that was his interpretation of the law, that it wasn't required to make declaration about assets he jointly owned with other people, maybe with other business partners, or with his, in this case, the company was registered with daughter and other family members. So he came out that he hasn't done anything wrong, that what he's done is within the confines of the law, he's done the right thing. But that was just his initial reaction. But I'm sure that there will still be more to come. Any comments on that Pandora boxes or Pandora papers, Elvis, or you've got something else to talk about?
My comments.
Oh, you want to comment on that? Okay.
Yes, my comment. And I want to say that this is born out of frustration. My answer to it is nothing. Nothing will happen. We are used to Pandora boxes. There are so many of them. A lot more will still be opened. And getting closer to elections, more and more will be open.
Oh,
right? More and more will be open. But we have a way of, celebrating certain issues over a period, and then it will die off. Especially when it involves big names, because you probably are getting this level of silence because you do not know who and who are involved, right? It's the names that are mentioned that we're talking about, but you do not know how many more are involved. We do not know what kind of web you are dealing with. So I can tell you, without mincing words, that nothing will happen except something else happens. What that something else is, I don't know.
We keep our finger crossed and wait as, there'll be more revelations from that Pandora Papers. Elvis, over to you.
Angel Elvis. Elvis, can you hear us?
Over to you, Elvis.
Oh yeah, Wally, I haven't got much to say in that area. But I am speaking.
All right, we can hear you.
Hello.
We can hear you, Elvis.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please. Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, all right. I thought you lost me for a bit. Now, the only thing that would have, I'm not surprised. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Wale. I'm not. If you guys can hear me, yeah, I'm not surprised at all. Fair is that would have, that would have been my shock, my surprise, but not the fact that we actually have people from the political class who have made it to the list. The makeup of our people. I mean, you're going to hide assets in some places only because, for whatever reason. One of them could be you want to evade taxes, and if generally these people are out there to um, to to help the masses or to do their bidding as leaders, I think an ideal scenario would be actually invest that money back home and create employment for the people they lead, and put food on their table, clothes on their back. But a situation where someone thinks the best thing is, go hide investment somewhere only because they want to avoid paying taxes, so they just want to stash it away, because there's obviously be there might be an institution where that money is not coming from legitimate sources, and to explain it away is pretty difficult. So you just got to. That's the only option they've got. So it doesn't really surprise me. The people who are in leadership are there for a reason. They are not there to serve the interest of the people they lead. They only are there to satisfy themselves and their families, and sometimes, honestly, even taking money that they do not need. I can understand where someone takes something only because they need it. They're hungry, stinkingly rich, not expect. It's really shocking how people live. It doesn't surprise.
Yeah.
Wale, can you not hear me? Did I just myself on?
I think for whatever reason you breaking up one way or the other. I think there's something probably wrong at your end. You're not really flowing in terms of that transmission. You're breaking up. Why are you trying to fix that? What I can tell is that Peter Obi has been receiving it, left, right, and center in the media, and for reason other than he has presented himself as this very, disciplined, a man of integrity. That is his persona in the public space. That is the persona that he has made of himself as a politician. As you said, I'm not really surprised about politicians doing what they do best, but sometimes when you just, like his name, I was a bit surprised, to be honest. And the truth is that he has his own public persona that he has presented, that has been part of him, that people are even, touting for him to contest in 2023 based on that leadership credential. Again, I'm not indicting anyone here, but he's really getting it left, right, and center in the media because of, I only have one wristwatch. I only give my daughter so, whatever. They don't use my car. They have to buy their own car themselves. So he's made a lot of things in public domain, videos and everything that is right there. And people are constantly referring to that now. But we know that, time will tell. Apart from the Pandora Papers, do you have any other thing you want to talk about that is really trending for you right now, Elvis?
I saw one. I don't know how much of that comment you heard, because it was as if I got disconnected at some point, Wale. I'm not sure how much I said and how much you were able to listen to. But anyway, I think I also, along those lines, I also mentioned, nothing will surprise me with these politicians. even with Peter Obi, when I know you say, yeah, he has a certain persona out there, and that's the reality. But still, nothing surprises me when it comes to our leaders. Anyway, the other thing I came across that is trending is the story of Bob Risky having a relationship with is a Monfa. Did you see that one? Oh, I saw, and yeah, I listened to the phrase was in an interview with them with Monfa initially, and then later Bobrisky came, and it was the case. Someone, I think Bobrisky's PA, someone that used to work for Bobrisky, was the one who started off this rumor to say Monfa is actually living a double life. He has his wife, his family on one end, and yet having a relationship with with Bobrisky. But of course, they came online and they denied. Monfa denied everything and thought those who started the rumor are actually being silly and are doing so out of mischief. And he said at one time he had problems. He was incarcerated, and Bobrisky came, paid him a visit, and he's never seen Bobrisky. Maybe he's seen Bobrisky once or twice. The second time, was, I think, was it during his birthday, or did he not attend the birthday? I don't know the story behind that particular part of the story, but yeah, that's really trending. The media accusing both of them of being involved in something. I don't know if you guys heard the story. Everyone, did you hear anything?
My reaction to this is a very simple one. It is said that a lie ceases to be a lie when it is agreed by all parties concerned that the truth should not be spoken. That's my reaction to all this.
Okay.
We'll keep watching.
Okay. Comments, Dr. Vicky? You can see you moving your head up sideways.
We can't hear you, Vicky.
For me, it's just so annoying with our people that their focus is Bobrisky. Everything is a lie with this guy. I mean, he's a lie. He lives a lie. And why do we need to give him space to keep, spewing? I mean, there have been like maybe 2 or 3 more. There's a guy called Brown, because we've given Bobrisky attention, and there'll be more coming up. There are things that we all need to focus our energy on, not this kind of person. I mean, the amount of cake, when this guy dresses, you think he's a female. Even us female, we don't do as much as that, because there's nobody that can be that perfect, But the cake, that one are fake now. So why do we give so much attention to this guy? It's something that just beats my imagination all the time. And
the simple answer to this, Doc, is no thanks to social media.
Exactly.
Yes, that's just it. That is it. Social media is aiding it. Social media is aiding all this.
I mean, I heard somewhere where you say I got 4-point-something million followers. Somebody has like 200,000 followers. People are following me and blah blah blah. Come on, there are stuff that we need to focus our energy on. Unfortunately, this era of social media is just messing things up the more.
More unfortunately too, the man that invents an app that will make life easier for all and sundry does not get that kind of followership you're talking about. The doctor that performs that surgery that is a very rare surgical feat, does not have that level of followership. But these people of this sort, those are the ones you find boasting about thousands and thousands of followers and all that. And what is the age in which we are?
Yeah, and that's what the world want to see. Those negative news. Even if you look at the press, you know what they call screaming headlines. You know that paper will sell when they fix some sort of headline that once the eyes see it, you just want to get that newspaper or the magazine to see what the content therein is. So and again with Bobrisky. Yeah, he's getting a lot of traction and attention on that. He granted an interview to Daily Momodu after his birthday, and he made comments like, you know, what he's actually doing. The young man is actually, or the young lady, whatever, is actually.
I need to crave your indulgence. I'm sorry, I need to crave your Wale. I need to crave your indulgence. I need to run now. They're expecting me to play my next game.
Okay.
Please pardon me. I need to run.
Okay.
That's all right. One win for us.
Behind me, there are the other players doing their bits. So kindly please permit me. They're already screaming my name. Okay. For now, it's the trending thing for me.
No way, problems like one.
Thank you. Go and enjoy yourself.
Make us proud. Thank you so
much.
God bless.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, well, the guy is actually just selling his goods. He's doing his business. I know he said to Dele Momodu that you know, when he started off doing his business, he just thought of a weird, unusual way to put his products out there. And that's according to him, that's what he's done. You know, people are usually attracted to such negativity, if you want to put it that way. They want to see what makes this guy tick, and that's why he has all his followers all over the place. But above all, I think his intention is what a lot of people do not know. If what he said on that interview was true, he's actually doing it to sell his product, and you know, he's doing a good job of it. Yeah.
Okay, we leave that where it is and then move on to other. So the term is fast spent. Is being.
I just have one thing that I want us to explore a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
There's been a report of Jonathan, you know, ex-president Jonathan, visiting Buhari behind closed doors. Not once, not twice. So what do you guys think is going on behind the closed doors?
Look, I've heard story that, you know, is being pressured. That's the word we often throw around, that the ex-president is being pressured to run again in 2023. I've read rumors that around the time that Femi Fani-Kaude joined APC, that the former president was also considering that option. And I think in recent weeks, you know, that rumor has ceased, you know, to disappear. So that means there could be some element of truth in that, you know, in that thing. But as you know, it's only in Nigeria you have like former president just like visiting the presidential villa almost on every month basis, just to go and say hello and for whatever reason. But it's out there that, you know, they're trying to say, because definitely there is a kind of agreement that the next president is going to come from South, whether Southeast, Southwest, or South, you know, South. And people are looking at the different heavyweights across the regions to see who is capable to lead. And I'm sure, his supporters are in a way encouraging him to run. I think that could be the reason.
So now that would be under which party ticket? APC or PDP or independent?
No, I think the rumor is that it would dump PDP
PDP.
and then return to, I mean, no, it's not return, and go to APC, and then that would make it more really competitive for whoever is going to run under APC. Because no matter what you think about what happened, anyone that's been a president in that country has a lot of networks and connections across the country. So if they really want to throw his out in the ring in 2023, it will be very, very competitive, and it will make it difficult for people like, for example, Tinubu and few others. It will make it extremely difficult for them if he really genuinely wants to do that again in 2023, because he was there for 6 years. He was a president for 6 good years. You are not just president of Nigeria for 6 years for nothing. There's a lot of collections and a lot of things, insiders information at his disposal. So yeah, that's what I think.
All right. Okay. Nigeria.
Elvis, I think we're trying to. I would say the last thing I've got to say before I hand over to Elvis, and Elvis can. We go back to Dr. Vicky. The last thing I've got is just on this 2023. Kingsley Moghalu, who ran under a party in 2019, is, I read something in the media that is, dumped the party. I don't know exactly what his plans are, but my concern is this: like, people of our generation that we'll be talking about, we want change, we want this to happen. We still in the social media talking about the same problems and not coming up with doing anything differently. This is 2021, is nearly gone. By 2022 January, I'm telling you, we already will be in full campaign for 2023. And I don't see our generation doing anything differently. We're still on social media, making comments, criticizing the status quo and all that. But in terms of strategy, I can't really see anything valid. And at the end of the day, we will have no option other than the two major parties, that's either PDP or APC. And to really be honest, in terms of our approach, we need to do a lot of things differently. I would think that it is what it is. And politics is a game of number anywhere we live. Yeah, even in the most advanced democracy that we use as gold standards, it is what it is. It is a liberal national or Labour Party. We can have Greens talking about environment, want to save the world and save the trees. They are still in a very, very in the minority. They are not going to become the next prime minister of Australia in the next 50 years, even not in 100 years. So that is just the reality. So and the same thing between Democrat and Republican in the United States. I don't know why we think our case is different. I don't know why we think our own case is different, in the sense that we miraculously expect that we're going to do something outside this existing PDP and APC to become the president. It's not going to happen. And we are not making any move. So my call is that we need to, our generation should be more strategic. If you really, what we want is power, and you need power to make those changes that we're really clamoring for, I think we need to be more strategic. I would think that the idea that any party is an homogeneous kind of situation where all of them are the same, I don't think that is true. I would still think that there are people in PDP today that they have good values and they are smart and they want to do things differently. Can we align with people like that if that is where some people think that is the platform they need? Despite what is happening in APC, I would think that there are still people that, if you go deep down, that still have values and they still want to do things. Can we align with them and see what we can do differently? That is just my pragmatic position on this. But the idea that we're just going to be shouting on Facebook and saying things and saying you want to have a party that doesn't even have a councillor in any of the 700 and whatever state and local councils in Nigeria, and then you want to run as a president, come on. That is just absolute, symbolism. We did that. I supported Shore in 2019 in the campaign. Went to Elvis was there. Elvis also, when he was in for the Melbourne Town Hall meeting, we're all there. We donated. We supported him. But let's just really face it. How can a party without even one councillor in the whole of Federal Republic of Nigeria, how can you become a president? So those are some of the conversations that we need to really have with ourselves as a generation. I think we become a bit too academic, and sometimes we become so opinionated. We don't want to even shift our position to consider other people's opinion about the practicality of what we're talking about. That is just my way. If you still want to make difference in 2023, I would think that people need to really be honest with themselves and be able to align with them. Right? It is what it is. It is a game of number. That is how it is played globally. You can't be in a Green Party with 2 members of parliament, whatever, and become Prime Minister of Australia. It's not going to happen. So why do we think our case is going to be different? So that's my final word for tonight. I will hand over to, I'll go to Elvis, and Elvis can go to Dr. Vicky. Thank you.
Wale, that's a good place to leave it. But look, and I'm going to take it from there as well. I don't think I have any thing much different from what you've alluded to. But I'll just point out a few challenges in the scenario you painted. Like having the likes of Kingsley Moghalu and the Shogores of this world come under these party platforms, honestly, is may not be as easy as it sounds, because if the only reason why they are coming from where they are coming is the fact that they haven't got perhaps the opportunities to contest the positions that their hearts, or those positions they want to be in under these other party platforms. Don't forget, there are people there who have been in that party for God knows how long, and other people coming from nowhere and wanting to ascend. I think there's an order. They're just going to start from the bottom of the food chain. Yeah, I see your point. I understand perfectly what you're saying. But the guys who have, like in Igbo parlance, who say Agadaba Chirozo, that's the padlock that has locked the door, is never intending to leave that door in a hurry. So it makes it really hard for the younger generation and those with all such vibrant ideas want to turn the table around. Makes it really hard for them to get the opportunity, the need to do the right thing. In that climb where if you're not careful, you see yourself as you find a few homogeneous people where you think, yes, you are different from this crowd. We've also had people being accused of engaging in anti-party activities, or find one reason or the other to to expel them from the party, or to place them in very difficult positions. But having said all that, we can't give up. We can only keep trying what we can, and then the status quo, I believe, is not going to remain forever. There surely will be a light at the end of a tunnel. Whether it's going to happen in my generation, that I can't answer, but I know this situation is not going to last forever.
Thank you. And I'll just say something, I agree with what you've said. And if we come to that conclusion, that look, most of the things are based on ideology, and there are obvious ideological differences. If it's not just about getting to power and taking power, whatever strategy that is required, maybe we should start with very small steps. When you start with small steps, like, okay, look, maybe the target could be like any of the new generation party, the target could be, okay, in the next councillorship election in Ogun State, we want to produce 5 councillors across the state, and let our 5 councillors be model councillors in your federation. And maybe by the next election, we can say, okay, we now want to produce 10 councillors. And then people will say, okay, these boys are doing some things differently. And then maybe next election, then when there's a time for local government chairman, you get someone out of those councillors that have been able to demonstrate themselves to become, chairman. Maybe we can have a plan that will last for 30 years, 40 years, and maybe one day we can be in a position to produce president. But the way it is now, I've listened to a lot of them. I've taken time to listen to them. And I see a bit of arrogance and a bit of detachment from reality. They're so detached from reality when they speak, honestly. And you think they're talking about a different geographical entity, not Nigeria. And that is my concern. And that is the concern I've expressed, to some of them that, we communicate on one-on-one, that we just delusional, if I may put it that way, that what you say is not going to happen. Maybe in the next 50 years. And that is why I think maybe we need to change. But it's not a topic we can actually exhaust today. We hand over to Dr. Vicky. Thank you.
It's always lovely for us to catch up every Saturday evening. And today it's more relaxing, just going in depth into what is trending, and we're not under pressure to round up quickly so that we can get into the topic of the day. So yeah, maybe once in a while we'll just take this relaxing stance and just do it a little bit differently. But thank you once again for coming on and trashing some of the trending stories in Nigeria. And we do have some people watching from Nigeria, from Canada, from UK. So to all our viewers all over the place, we want to say thank you. Last weekend, during the show, 3 people actually took the opportunity that we offered, and instead of 500 naira of airtime, they were each given 2,000 naira worth of airtime. One of them is Tolu Felicity, who actually commented earlier about her receiving the 2,000 naira of the airtime. So we follow through. When we say we're going to do something, we do follow through. So we appreciate you. If you are not one of the 3 that got the 2,000 naira last week, and you've commented, we will definitely be in contact with you for how you can get your airtime. So thank you, everyone. Have a lovely, lovely Sunday. Wale and Elvis, enjoy your Sunday. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah, God bless
you. All right. Good night, guys. Good night. Yes.
It's LC the beat guy.